they do now, I'll fight. While children go hungry as they do now, I'll fight. While men go to prison, in and out, I'll fight. While there is a poor lost girl upon the street, I'll fight. While there remains one dark soul without the light of God, I'll fight. I'll fight to the very end. In a few moments, we're going to be remembering those that have fallen and all who have suffered in conflict, both past and present. And while there is still conflict, we honour all those who bravely have given of themselves and continue to give today. We love you and we honour you. For now, I want us to consider that there is still a fight that we are all called to be a part of, because we are all called to be a different kind of soldier. Anyone remember the hymn that was played just as I was coming up? Onward, Christian soldiers. Perhaps it was one you remember from school. Anyone remember singing it at school? Anyone enjoy singing it at school? Anyone loathe singing it at school? Yeah. But it's a hymn that's been adopted by Christians over many years, and particularly has become the anthem of the Salvation Army. But it's a reminder that we're all called to action, to bring Christ's light into a dark world. Let's have a look at what a couple of the verses say. Here they are coming on screen. Onward, Christian soldiers, marching as to war, with the cross of Jesus going on before. Christ, the royal master, leads his armies on, forward into battle till the fight is won. Onward, Christian soldiers, marching as to war, with the cross of Jesus going on before. Then verse 4, like a mighty army moves the church of God. We are humbly treading where the saints have trod. Christ is not divided, all one body we, one in hope and calling, one in charity. Onward, Christian soldiers, marching as to war, with the cross of Jesus going on before. So what is this different kind of soldier? Well, the Bible tells us in Ephesians 6 verse 12 that our battle is not against flesh and blood. So what is our fight? We're called to action. And how do we fight? As I've already said, we're called to fight darkness with light. We're called to fight hatred with love. We're called to fight lies with truth. We're called to fight despair with hope, unfairness with justice, abuse with dignity and respect. What a call that there is upon us as the Church of God. And we're called to be an army. We're not called to be an audience. We're an army, all together. With the crucified Jesus as our commander-in-chief. He is our ultimate example. Our knees are our tank. Prayer and intercession. And our self-sacrifice is our armour. Jesus said, if your brother asks you for your coat, give them your shirt as well. We fight to bring Jesus' upside-down kingdom here on earth as it is in heaven. Where the weak and the rejected and the unseen and the despised and the forgotten should have top priority. This is what Jesus came to call us to. Where peace and mercy and love are our goals. Through the power of the Holy Spirit, not by might, not by our own strength, but by God's Spirit, we join in with him. We join in with him. We listen to his command and we get into action, helping to put the things right that are so wrong. You see, the heart of the human problem has always been the problem of the human heart. And Jesus comes to turn that around, to start a process of putting things right that starts right at the heart of the issue, in me and in you. As an army, we can know the first priority of call to action is to get it right ourselves and to give ourselves to the one who has paid the price for the sin that we commit, and to receive his forgiveness and to receive his cleansing and to receive his renewal, and then to join with him, to listen to his commands, to follow him, to take our instructions from him and help to make the change that he so desires to bring to the world. Christ is our head. That hymn talked about us. The church is not divided. That's a hope, isn't it? And that's a prayer. And it's something that God would want us to keep at the fore of our mind, because we are to be an army, united. Christ is our head, and we are his body. We are one unit with him and with one another. That's not just me. It's not just Sam. It's not just Jake. It's me. It's we. It's you. You and me. Will you turn to your neighbour and say, that means you and me? Is that reassuring that the battle isn't just yours? If you were an army going to war, or you had a battle to be fought, you wouldn't want to go by yourself, would you? It'd be terrifying, and you know that you would be defeated. And the same, Christ calls us to be one and to work as one, as an army, as a unit, about his call. 1 Corinthians 14, verse 14 to 16. It says this: and so the body is not made up of one part, but of many. Now, if the foot should say, because I am not a hand, I do not belong to the body, it would not for that reason stop being part of the body. And if the ear should say, because I am not an eye, I do not belong to the body, it would not for that reason stop being part of the body. And then Ephesians 4, verse 16. I think we've got this on screen. Here it comes. Is it coming? Not quite. We're going to get there. Ephesians 4:16 says, he makes the whole body fit together perfectly. Wow. Did you know it's possible for us to fit together really, really well? As each part, it says, does its own special work, it helps the other parts to grow, so that the whole body is healthy and growing and full of love. God's agenda is that he would do his work through the church, through a body of believers, people who would accept him, who would follow him, who would commit themselves to his ways. And that as we work together, as we each play our part, as we recognize that we are unique and we have different gifts to bring, that as we get on and play our part, that we actually build each other up and we become a stronger unit, and we actually grow healthy, and we actually build ourselves up in love. And that love heals the world. Wow. Jesus' mission, Jesus' method, and his mandate for us is one of us being united with him and with one another. We are called to be with one another. So let's stay in the training ground. Let's stay being united, coming together, rubbing alongside one another. It's so great that so many of you are here today and you continue to join with each other in different ways, in small groups and in teams. It's vital that we connect, because that's where God's Spirit wants us to be able to spur one another on, so that we grow and we build each other up in love. If you're able, if you're watching online and you know that you are able to be in church, then I would encourage you to be back mixing with one another. Wear a mask if you have to. Keep a distance a little bit if you have to. But I would encourage you, don't stay away if you can be with the body. In a few moments, after we have observed the 11 o'clock and the 2-minute silence, I'm going to just pop back up, and we're going to hear from two of our own new lifers who have been part of the military, Angie and Dave. And we are going to hear what they have learned about teamwork, because there's some values and some principles that I'm sure that they will be able to share with us that will be really helpful. But for now, as we come to a time where we are going to remember and where we are going to honour those that have given their lives and those that continue to give and those that have suffered, perhaps we can continue just for now to remember that in a different kind of way, we all have a call to action as a soldier in the Church of Jesus Christ. I hand back to the band, thanks.
Thank you, Sarah. We're going to stand together and we're going to have a moment of worship together as we think about things Sarah has spoken about, and also as we lead into a time of specific remembrance at this time of year. Why don't we stand?